6565. That's 800-762-6565.
Federal agents have launched an immigration crackdown in Charlotte, North Carolina. Bernie Bennett has more.
The Trump administration has made the Democratic city of about 950,000 people its latest target for an immigration enforcement surge it says will combat crime, despite fierce objections from local leaders and downtrending crime rates. Gregory Bovino, who led hundreds of U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents in a similar effort in Chicago, took to X to document a few of the more than 80 arrests he said agents have made. Bovino, head of a Border Patrol sector in El Centro, California, and other Trump administration officials have called their actions appropriate for growing threats on enforcement agents. Bernie Bennett reporting.
President Trump is indicating that he plans to meet with New York City's Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani and says that they'll work something out. For months, the president has labeled the Democratic Socialist Mamdani as a communist. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston. Foreign correspondent John Gambrell reports Iran says it is no longer enriching uranium.
The IAEA Board of Governors is going to meet. There is a proposal that's in the works that could see Iran face further tensions there. And Iran itself still hasn't started any sort of negotiations with the United States over the nuclear program. There's also concerns here that Israel could strike Iran again. All this together means that tensions are going to remain high for the foreseeable future, but Iran is trying to signal that it isn't enriching and is trying to signal to the world that potentially negotiations might be possible.
Disney-owned channels including ABC and ESPN are back on YouTube TV. The content went dark on October 30th after the two sides failed to reach a new licensing deal. That blackout affected sports, news, and entertainment programs. More at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Good morning to the John Fredericks Radio Network and everybody listening to us all across that network and on Rumble and YouTube and X Live and all those great places. Welcome. It is Monday, November 17th, 2025. In studio, it's a special day for us. The one, the only State Senator, Mark Pody. Senator Pody, welcome.
Yes, sir. It's great to be here. Michael, this is awesome, and I love being live with you right in studio.
We always have so much fun, don't we?
We do.
It's a lot of fun. Of course, we've known each other for years. And I remember, when you first decided to run for the state Senate, remember there was one news outlet that went down to the Capitol and reported on that.
That's exactly right.
That would be the Tennessee Star.
That's right. And do you remember that was a special election?
Yeah.
And that we got to talk a little bit
about that. We'll talk about that. We'll go right down to the morning rundown, which is brought to you every day at this time by our friends at the Glock Store. The Glock Store located just a few miles from the airport right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here is the morning rundown for Monday, November 17th, 2025. Number one, the theme is affordability. Donald Trump has been solving international crises around the world, but now there is a concern about affordability. And so he's turning his attention to that. Number two, we'll talk about this in our second hour. What happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yikes. All of a sudden she's decided she doesn't like Donald Trump. Why? We'll talk about that. Number three, very important. We'll talk with Mark Pody about this. Early voting in the Tennessee 7 special congressional district election between solid pro-Trumper Matt Van Epps and crazy leftist AOC of Tennessee, Afton Bain, has begun. Yeah, Afton Bain is highlighting affordability, not talking too much outside of Davidson County about all of her support for minor transgender rights. All right, no, not talking about that. But they have a bunch of hardcore leftists going door to door. They're working with Indivisible and others here in Davidson County, so got to pay attention to that. Number four, who will lead the Democratic Party? Ro Khanna. Ro is his first name, Khanna is his last name. He's a congressman from California. He thinks, well, Chucky Schumer's done. But his bright idea, Chris Murphy, Cory Spartacus Booker, and Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Yeah, nothing but good new ideas there. Not. Number five, the mayor-elect of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, the Muslim Marxist, says he wants to keep his current police chief. But now some New York Police Department officers are already pushing Islam. There's a little video now. The police department is telling you how to wear a hijab. I kid you not. Number 6, locally, the battle for the mayorship of Williamson County has begun. We were at an event with Todd Kastner yesterday. Andy Marshall's also running and a couple others, so we'll have some details on that. And number 7, though, right here in studio, we're going to talk about the Tennessee General Assembly's agenda for next year with State Senator Mark Pody. Mark, great to have you here.
It is awesome to be here. And you know what? As you're going through that rundown, I've got to mention something that Trump's done.
Sure.
Can you picture if you're in a ship and it's sinking and trying to fix it? There's so many holes that you got to fix them one at a time. And Trump has done an amazing job of finding what is the worst problems, fixing those, and moving on.
Moving on to the next.
And I think he has been really doing more in a short period of time than any leader that I've seen in my entire lifetime.
You're absolutely right. You know, Mark, our show has been sponsored by the Glock Store for many, many years. And I talk a lot about our friend Lenny McGill, who's the CEO and founder of the Glock Store. You know, his business used to be in California, but he saw the light and moved here to Tennessee about 5 years ago. The Glock Store has been our sponsor for many years. I've been lucky enough to go to every one of the incredible yearly Glock Store open houses. This year, Glock Store has set their sights on Black Friday, which is, of course, the day after Thanksgiving. It's an event you're going to want to try and attend from wherever you are. The details are just now coming together, but if I had to guess, Mark, I'm thinking huge discounts on everything, including Glocks and the latest and greatest in performance parts. And yes, knowing the Glock Store, there'll be more than a few great giveaways. Now, of course, all the great Black Friday deals will also be available online, but the real party will be here at the Glock Store right in Nashville, Tennessee. That's the Black Friday celebration from Lenny McGill and the one and only Glock Store, minutes from the Nashville airport. You could fly in, you know, the government's back up, or you could drive from anywhere Black Friday. So there you go.
And I've been there, and he's actually had me speak a time or two at some of the events that they have. And, you know, they always have great giveaways. But, you know, it's one thing to shoot just at a target, but they've got a lot of unique, different shooting opportunities that if somebody wants to go to learn how to protect themselves, it's not enough just to say, hey, I'm going to shoot at a stagnant paper target compared to walking through some of the things that they might have. That's a huge thing if you're really interested in self-defense.
I can attest to that. And they've got these Shoot 270 ranges where it's not just like a narrow, straight-ahead range. I mean, you've got that full range of movement, and you can really learn. And their instructors are beyond fabulous.
I totally agree. So if you're interested in self-protection, not only can you get the weapons there, they can train you how to use them. And if you're good with it, they can actually up your game.
The Glock Store on the web at glockstore.com. Okay, so let's talk about getting out the vote. And you have experience in a special election.
I did. So, you know, I actually represented at that point, May Beavers was running for governor, and she was the state senator in the 17th. And she said, you know what, if I'm going to run for governor, I'm going to put down my Senate seat and focus 100% on running for governor. And at that point, it was an open seat, and I ran for that election. Now, in that election, when it came into the general, just like we are right now in the 7th congressional district, everybody I would talk to, they say, you know what, it's favored Republican. You should have this. This is not a problem. Don't worry about it. And I said, well, have you voted yet? Get out to vote. And when election results came in, the Democrats were very motivated because anytime that they could see a crack where they could pick something up, they were much, much more motivated than the Republicans were when they thought they had something and they didn't think it was going to be lost. And I fear that this could perhaps be happening right here. I'm going to really encourage Republicans, if you're in this seat, and this is your congressional district, please get out to vote. Go vote early. Vote.
Yeah, Republicans need to vote. It's not a done deal because it's a special election, A. B, they have the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of Tennessee, self-proclaimed Afton Bain, who's a, crazy socialist leftist, beyond crazy. She's the one that was out there harassing the ICE agents and, just all sorts of crazy stuff, promoting transgender rights for, minors, asterisk, crazy stuff like that. They're motivated.
They are very motivated, and they are active, and they're going door to door, and their troops seem to be more organized and motivated. So we outnumber them in Republicans, but it only matters if those Republicans get out to vote, because it doesn't matter how many we have. If we don't vote, we still lose that seat.
If you live in Davidson County in particular, or Williamson County, or up in Montgomery County, or the other the rural counties, like 11 rural counties there, and you're listening to this, and you're a Republican, go out today and vote, early vote. And Matt Van Epps is the standard bearer for the Republican Party.
And you couldn't be clear on the choices. They are
really?
so absolutely diametrically opposed to each other on these choices. So it's not even, well, maybe I like this one or that one. They are clear choices. But you have to go out and vote. Yeah,
and you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention because, and also, it's all the the social quote socialist, communists, anti-American crowd, the ones that are elected Zohran Mamdani in New York City as mayor, the ones that elected this quote socialist communist as mayor of Seattle. They are energized, and if Republicans don't show up to vote, it's not going to be good. So if you live in that district, get out and vote.
That's exactly right. Now, I'm going to tell you, I believe that we will have more people coming from New York to here.
Yes, but not in time for the election. Right now, if you're registered to vote as a Republican and you live in Davidson County, Montgomery County, Williamson County, or any of the rural counties to the west of Nashville, go and vote today. When we come back, we're going to catch up with State Senator Mark Pody. We've got some ideas to hear from him about education and testing. Back after this.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
MyPillow and Mike Lindell are excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever. Mike loves John's listeners and viewers and says he agrees with President Trump. John has the best audience in America. Check this out. MyPillow bed sheets, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time ever, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens $17.98, Kings only $19.98. Also for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-854-0504 and use promo code Godzilla. Use your promo code Godzilla for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now. 800-854-0504, promo code Godzilla, or mypillow.com/Godzilla.
Are you making these two deadly mistakes with your emergency food supply? The first mistake is not having an emergency food supply to begin with. The second mistake is buying an emergency food supply, but not having a way to cook the meals in an emergency. That's why My Patriot Supply created the Black Friday Survival Special. It comes with a 4-week food supply, plus $150 worth of free gifts, including everything you need to prepare your emergency meals, like a cook stove, fuel, fire starters, plus a water purifier, bug-out bag, and more. It's the complete survival kit your family needs to ride out natural disasters, civil unrest, or worse. Plus, it makes a great Christmas gift, but it's only available through Black Friday. way. So head over to mypatriotsupply.com to check out everything that's included. With all the uncertainty in the world, disaster preparedness is more important than ever. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and get prepared today. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours, true American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, our very good friend for many years, State Senator Mark Pody. Welcome back, Mark.
It's great to be here. And I know that education is going to be the next subject.
It is, and it's been near and dear to my heart. You know, you look at the country and the performance of kids at K-12 schools has been abysmal in terms of reading, writing, arithmetic. And, you know, a lot of kids in college. I saw a report the other day that at the University of California at San Diego, which is, you know, a pretty high-end university.
Yes.
1 out of 8 of every entering freshman has to have remedial math. Isn't that crazy? It was like a decade ago, it was 1 out of 100. That's how bad the K-12 education system has been performing to date. You are championing a bill that I think is focused more on the college entrance, which makes a lot of sense. Tell us what that bill is and why it's important.
So it'll be Senate Bill 150, and the House bill would be 75. So actually, Representative Slater is carrying it in the House. But what we want to do is give, especially like homeschoolers and such that use the classical learning, and it's called the CLT.
It's a test.
It's a test.
Right. So let's just, for our listeners, and pretty much everybody who's gone through high school, who had an interest in going to college, would have taken one of 2 tests, maybe both. The SAT, which is a measure of basically the types of your knowledge of the types of courses taught in high school, or the ACT. Those are the 2 standard tests that colleges use to determine admission standards, right?
That's correct. And both those companies are for-profit companies. They want They don't want competition any more than what they have. And this would be direct competition to say colleges would be allowed to use this as that entrance, as
now,
the testing.
Tell us a little bit about the CLT. It's what the Classic Learning Test, and there's a company that puts this together.
That's correct.
It measures different things.
It does. So,
but not all the different. It measures things a little bit differently. I think it's a more comprehensive measure of knowledge.
And it'll go back to more traditional things that we have. And I don't want to say it takes some of the wokeness out, but in essence, this is a lot of what it does. It's going to focus on the classical learning that we used to do, the things that we know were tried and proven. years ago, and the state of Florida has already passed it. So there's other states that are doing this, and there's a curriculum that eventually we'd like to be able to have offered in our public schools as well.
A classical curriculum.
A classical curriculum. And that way each school district could choose to say, I wanted to use that curriculum and then use this test to go forward. Or they don't. It's not going to be forced. But a lot of homeschoolers will use this curriculum already, and therefore when it comes to testing, they're going to do much better on this kind of test than they would on an ACT or something like that.
Yeah, and so the idea here is right now, and I think your bill is aimed at Tennessee public universities. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
So right now, if you want to go to the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, or you want to go to UT Chattanooga, or even Tennessee State, Middle Tennessee State, you're required to take either an ACT test or an SAT test. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And then your admission is determined in part by how well you do on that test and your grades and all other things. And what this group that has developed the CLT, the Classic Learning Test, is to say, well, that's fine for those folks. But kids who have gone through a classical curriculum are going to have a different test, the CLT, that's been out now for well over a decade.
Yes.
I think it's been adopted. What your bill would do, as I understand it, it would make that test an acceptable admissions standard for public universities in the state of Tennessee. Is that right?
That's correct. And the people that are using this curriculum and using this test, I think that they're outperforming when they're going back into the universities. They don't have to take as many classes to get caught back up. They're already there.
They don't have to take remedial math, in other words.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So when you're saying I'm ready to go to the university, but you can't do the basic math yet, or you can't read and understand some of the classic learning, this is the students that have taken this kind of curriculum and this kind of test are actually outperforming the others.
So a classical education, this has been a concept now that's been developed for now almost half a century, I think.
Yes.
And you'll see a lot of private classical schools. There are some that use this model, public schools, and I think charter schools do to some degree. Hillsdale sometimes uses the classical model.
Yes.
It has, they call it the trivium. 3 elements, right?
Yep.
Grammar, logic, and rhetoric, right? Grammar is where you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's typically K through 5. Logic is when you use that to apply it to logical problems. That's usually middle school. Rhetoric is then when you try to use all of those tools to be persuasive. And that's basically what the classical model is.
And it's going to boil down to something that I'm very focused on, and that's giving parents choices. And the more we can give the parental the choice, I think the better that our education system is going to be. It is not up to parents to turn over their kids and say, here's public school or whatever, you take care of it, I'm not going to be involved. The parents are supposed to be involved. They're supposed to be actively saying, what is the best educational path for my child? And the more options I think we can give the parents, the better it's going to be. And this is going to be a better option for the parents going forward.
So if your bill were to be adopted, then any kids could take the CLT as opposed to the ACT or SAT, and then use that in their application to any public college in Tennessee.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So I actually met with the ACT and talking to them, and at that point when we met over 2 years ago, they were saying,
met with them?
Oh yes, and they were saying,
were they unhappy?
They said there wasn't enough data, and they wanted to wait a little bit longer for where we got the data. Well, now we've gotten 2 years of data since then, and in the House, if we notice that it's not stopped yet, but the sponsor took it off of notice. So that means he can put it right back on notice anytime that he wants. And he said that there was little tweaks or whatever. He's got to get a couple of, maybe one more member of that committee to move forward. But I think it still has a shot to go forward yet this year.
Well, and there is one member there who's a pretty good guy who I think had opposed it previously. And we're going to have him in, talk to him a little bit about it. From everything we understand, this particular member is pretty reasonable. And I think with this information about the evidentiary success of the CLT test, my guess is they'll probably move over in the yes column.
And they've gotten another full year of data that they can look at. So when they're saying they just want to see it out there a little long, it's been another full year because we wanted it to run this year. We've had to wait till 2026. So they'll have another year of data to look at.
Yeah, and look, let's be honest. K-12 education has not performed well over the past, 3 decades, 2 decades, 1 decade. It's just not performed well.
That's correct. Now, if I look at it from where we were back in before 2010, it was worse. So we've made slight improvement, but we're still, even at best thing, we're middle of the pack. And that's even if we're looking at the best thing we could possibly do. Our students deserve more. They deserve better.
Well, the other thing, too, that you mentioned is in terms of, I am a big fan of Tennessee leading the way for the entire country because we've got a great General Assembly. We've got great leadership, and it kind of irritates me that Florida is ahead of us on this particular item.
That's correct. that is correct, and we are making strides. I think the teachers are doing a better job of actually looking at a little bit of accountability moving forward. We no longer have some things that the teacher unions used to have, and like some of the tenure things that they had. So there's been some changes, but we got a long way to go. Parental choice in holding parents where they can make that choice and a little bit more accountability there, I think is going to be a good step forward.
Outstanding. Good point. I think you're going to be successful with this bill.
I do too.
This year.
I do too.
That's what you call leadership, folks.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you, even one of my school board members came and said they like this bill.
How about that?
Yes.
We'll be back with State Senator Mark Pody after this.
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the #1 factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund. Cold weather is here, and it's only getting colder. When you want instant whole room warmth, you go with Eden Pure, a trusted name for years on my show. Now they've done it again with the Eden Pure Gen 40 Plus infrared heater. This powerful compact unit gives you fast, even heat you can feel in seconds. Infrared heat warms you directly, not just the air around you, and it doesn't dry out the air. It's quiet, compact, and safe with multiple built-in safety shutoffs, and it heats up to 1,000 square feet. Perfect for the living room, bedroom, or office. And right now, Eden Pure is thanking our listeners. The Gen 40 Plus normally sells for $224, but Eden Pure is giving our VIP listeners an additional $50 off, bringing it to just $174. That's right, only $174 for state-of-the-art infrared heater. Now, this is a limited time offer with a strict limit of 3, and supplies are moving fast. So go to EdenPureDeals.com, use promo code Godzilla50. EdenPureDeals.com, promo code Godzilla50. Is your pet ready for some pawsome fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke, she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges, no charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul-off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. Is the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
In studio, State Senator Mark Pody. Mark, you represent, is it all of Wilson County and a little bit of Davidson County that you represent?
That's correct. All of Wilson, and I have basically from Wilson County up through the airport. So I actually have the airport.
You have the airport?
I have the airport.
Well, that's a perfect segue to my next topic.
Tell me, let's go through this.
The shutdown. Now, we just finished the longest shutdown in the history of America. I have no idea what the Democrats thought they were going to accomplish, because they accomplished nothing. But that shutdown had an impact on Tennesseans in a number of ways. Obviously, your constituents at the airport, oh my goodness, had a lot of impact there, didn't it?
It did. And for the Democrats to think that holding food from hungry children, making our skies unsafe for something that they're saying would happen potentially in the future of a plan that they've started, and it was a failed plan to start with.
Let me just elaborate on that, because we're on the same page here. Okay, so they had this continuing resolution. The fiscal year for the federal government ends September 30th. And what a continuing resolution does, it says, you know what we spent last year? We're just going to continue spending that going forward. And they said, no, we're not going to do that, because we want you to add $1.5 trillion to fund the health care of illegal aliens. We want you to fund PBS and the left-wing NPR. And we want you to extend those credits for the failed healthcare system, Obamacare, which we had to put in back in COVID, and we said it would only extend till the end of 2025, but it's such a disaster, we have to extend it more. Do I have that right?
You have that right. And when we're talking about a continuing resolution, this has been voted on many, many times by whoever's in power, and most people have always just gone along with the continuing resolution. It was a clean continuing resolution.
When you say clean, that means all it says is we're going to just keep spending what we did the last fiscal year. Keep that level. We're not going to add any other stuff.
That's exactly right. And the Democrats shut it down. And how it affected Tennessee was literally our airport, and B&A is one of the fast-growing airports here. We are literally, tourism and such is growing at B&A. And that's going to be a continuing thing that we have. But when you don't have the traffic controllers, traffic controllers, if you start having people having to work double shifts or overtime, they're going to be a little tired.
And they might make mistakes.
And they're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more, and we did a great job at this airport. I'm telling you, it wasn't like some of the other airports. We were much better here. But you just can't keep asking people to work continually double shifts and such and not expect something. So they put our skies at risk.
You know, I have to tell you, having gone to a number of airports and going to an airport tomorrow to go to Washington, D.C., because we've been nominated for a National Journalism Award.
And congratulations on that. Well deserved.
And it's me, it's Christina Botteri, it's Tom Papert, it's our whole team in two areas, for two nominations. One for our reporting on Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and then for our reporting on the Covenant Killer Manifesto. And so we've been nominated. We haven't won, but so the big award is up on Wednesday. I'm flying up there tomorrow. We're working out the show, so we'll do part of it up there. But I look at that and I say, mercifully the shutdown's over.
Yes.
So hopefully there won't be a delay. But I'll also tell you this. I think we have a very well-run airport here in Nashville.
Yes.
Compared to all the others.
And it's going to be getting better. We're going to be doing some more expansion on there, but I think that we're going to watch that get better. We're going to be watching some of the traffic issues that we've had. As those roads get done, that'll get better as well. But also on this shutdown, I'm going to tell you the Democrats shut it down, and then they were throwing it to Republican states to fix it, like us, when they're saying, hey, look at all these hungry kids that you have, that they created the problem, but they're looking to us to bail it out.
So let's elaborate on that. There are today 41 million recipients of SNAP benefits, with that supplemental nutritional something or others.
Yes.
It used to be called food stamps, I think. Right?
Yes.
But 41 million people get it, and they get like an EBT, a card, and then on the first of the month they get, I think the average is like $800, and they can pretty much buy any food they want, I guess, for that. That's a big number, but on that 41 million, there are a lot of kids who that's their only source of food because the poverty issues with parents, et cetera, or other issues. But the Democrats didn't seem to care about those kids getting fed.
They did not. They did not. So we actually met with the federal government and said, hey, if we picked up and paid some of these, would we be reimbursed when the government opens up? And they said, absolutely not. So
really,
so it wasn't going to be that. Hey, if we
didn't know that
if we pay them, because other states were talking about doing it, and they were saying no, they probably won't be reimbursed. So that's going to mean Tennessee taxpayers would have to pay for federal government programs that we would not be reimbursed for, programs that we didn't start either. So it was like, what were we going to do? So we talked about special session. We talked about different options, what we should or shouldn't do, and we never knew how long this shutdown would go.
It seemed to go on forever until it ended, and then it ended like boom.
And it's over.
It's over. Yeah.
And everybody, all the kids and all the families that deserve it are getting back pay. So they're getting those SNAP programs back.
From the feds.
From the feds.
Yeah.
Now, what we did do, I thought the governor did a good job of saying, hey, we're going to give enough money to make sure all the food pantries and such had extra. So nobody would be saying, hey, they're hungry, because they're always
go to a food pantry.
That's right. Now, would it be as convenient? No, but it would be, the food would be available. And I thought we did a good job with that without trying to say we're going to pick up those tens of millions of dollars, every week and us pay that. I think there was a good balance of what we did at that point.
Yeah, and I think most people would agree. No one should go hungry in America.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And there are all sorts of reasons why people go hungry. You have a little kid, parents don't have a job. That kid should not go hungry. Now, the problem with SNAP, as Brooke Rollins, now the Secretary of Agriculture, says, there's a lot of fraud going on there. And in fact, it's like $8 billion a month being paid. $8 trillion a month. It's like a huge amount of money.
It is a huge amount of money.
$8 billion. It's a big number.
Well, What this is going to show, though, is as the federal government shut down, and where are we and how much are we relied on in Tennessee? And this was, of course, the longest shutdown we've ever had. But there was a few things that we're looking at because not only was it shut down for a little bit, we're also getting notice that there's money coming to Tennessee that's not going to be here anymore. And
really?
Yes. And what is that going to do? Is we watch the Department of Education possibly be going away, which I'm all for of. You know, the federal.
I have 2 words for the outgoing Department of Education. You ready?
Tell me.
Bye-bye.
So
you like that?
That's going to be a very good move. But we're going to make sure that how that money is going to continue, and the state should do a much better job of allocating that money than what the feds did. But this is going to be saying some of the other programs of the money, the grants that were normally given to the states is not going to be there. And it is ironic that if we pare this down just a little bit more, those states that accepted the Medicare expansion are being hurt the worst. Just like we had talked about.
Just like we said.
Years ago when we said, if you take this federal money and it's going to have an effect, and we heard over and over and over, it's free money, take the money, it'll never go away. Some of that money is going away.
Whenever anybody says, hey, we've got some free money for you.
Run.
It's not free, folks.
So that with the shutdown and with these cuts that are coming, we know that Tennessee going in next year in the budget, we want to be watching exactly what we spend. And this is going to be something else we have to do as Republicans. We can't get so emotionally involved in picking up all of the grant programs, everything that they may have been going for good thoughts that the federal government has.
Mm-hmm.
The state cannot afford to pick up every single one of these programs. And if we pick up one, how do you say, well, this one's for seniors and this one's for people that are maybe disabled? If you start picking and choosing, it's going to be hard to say no to others. We need to have a very firm statement of saying, you know what, if we want to start a program that we've started and we've funded, we need to look at that. But if we want to pick up a program that the feds are pushing down and now not funding, we need to be saying no to those at this point.
Good point. Now, you've got a pretty good agenda for what you want to accomplish in the next General Assembly. You're not in session right now. What are you doing? I mean, are you actually? Because I say that because I know when you're not in session, you're out talking to people.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I will tell you that. And in fact, after I'm done here, I'm going to the Capitol, and we know we're going to be in session in like 60 days. Okay.
Right.
It's going to be January 13th, and that's a Tuesday at noon. We'll be roll calling back into session, and I got to meet with attorneys today to say, hey, look, I want to make sure we never have this what they call impossible meat said as meat anymore. I want to make sure that the food that they're growing and the things that they're putting in, the mRNA and things like this, that if the public needs to clearly know what they're buying. And
so it's a food labeling bill that you're going to be
That's correct. At. Now, some of the things that they've had, the feds have said that you're not allowed to label this stuff at the state, and we're trying to find ways that we can accommodate the federal law, but I think that we can make some changes on that point so we can make sure Tennesseans know what they're buying. And I'm going to tell you, I've talked to a lot of the farmers. In fact, I mailed out hundreds of farmers here and said, hey, well, how do you feel about some of this impossible meat? Or it's
impossible. What's that mean?
It's actually imposter meat. Okay?
Oh, imposter. Got it.
But you can actually go to Burger King and say it's an impossible burger or whatever because it's not real meat. It's homegrown in a lab.
Got it.
And that's what some of the places are.
Really?
Yes.
Yikes.
It's lab stuff that they.
I don't like that.
No. But if you're going to buy it, we want to know everybody should have that label.
We've got more with State Senator Mark Pody when we come back. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cell's Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
These illegal skill games that keep popping up, fights break out, they're illegal, we got drugs, we got gangs, they're all over the place. How do you get illegal slot machines in convenience stores when Governor Youngkin, you vetoed it, and no referendum, nobody passed it? How are they still here?
At the end of the day, it is local Commonwealth's attorneys that have to bring the cases against the establishments and to get them out. And so, yes, I vetoed bills. The High Court has said that they can't be there. And on top of that, our Attorney General has done a full investigation. And we go back to our Commonwealth's attorneys in so many jurisdictions refuse to enforce the law. That's the bottom line. They protect the criminals at the expense of the victims. And that's why, again, elections matter. We have got to elect prosecutors who will put people in jail.
This ad paid for by Churchill Downs.
Why is Purple Wave Auction the fastest growing heavy equipment marketplace? Our full service online auctions take the hassle out of buying and selling farm, construction, and fleet equipment. Thousands of business owners partner with Purple Wave each month to manage their equipment. Sellers count on our experienced professionals to handle the marketing, paperwork, and payments. And bidders trust in a marketplace free of reserves and hidden fees. Purple Wave is the turnkey online auction service you've been looking for. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
This is going to be fun. In studio, State Senator Mark Pody. Senator Pody, the Music City Loop.
Yes.
Built by Elon Musk's Boring Company. That's mostly in your district, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It goes from the airport to downtown Nashville.
So I'm going to tell you, when I first heard about this, and we heard rumors going around for a while, and then when it was announced, I dove in deep. And I'm telling you that I have spent hours and hours and had multiple meetings with this company, with Department of Transportation, with the governor's office, ECD, everybody involved to say, what does this really look like? And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a game changer for Nashville. And I know we're talking about just a short thing to start with, but it's almost
like 10 miles.
Yes.
From the airport to downtown Nashville.
To downtown.
But they're going to add more ultimately, I think.
That is the plan, but this is a company that's going to say, we're looking to make sure that it's going to be profitable for us. And I don't mind a company looking to be saying it's going to be profitable, but this is going to be something that's going to make transportation here much, much more effective. And I have been focused on infrastructure for a long time. We need something like this. It's not going to cost the taxpayers any money. It's going underneath the state right away. When they're pulling out the gravel and such, that's going to be state property, so we're going to be able to use it for transportation for the airport and so forth. It's a win-win situation. We're still go through all the permitting processes, so there's no shortcuts that they're getting.
Yeah, not taking shortcuts.
And we're going to make sure that it's going to be environmentally sound and safe. I met with TDEC just to make sure all of these things are in place. But in the bottom line, it is going to be very, very good for Nashville and for the state of Tennessee.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. Now, you had some folks go out to Las Vegas to look at the previous tunnel that Elon Musk's company built.
I sure did. So I literally wanted them to go film it, I wanted to do it myself, but I'm just tied up at the moment myself. But I wanted somebody to lay eyes on it and ride it and see what it is and talk to the employees, talk to the other riders and see.
So you had people riding it?
Oh, yes.
So they get off at the airport.
Yep.
They go down into the tunnel. And then they get in a Tesla. And now I think that one's only like 2 or 3 miles, right?
It's actually a little bit longer.
Oh, is it?
Yep. And they're expanding theirs as well. So some people said it's not working. It is working, and it is expanding. And, I said, I want you to find out all the accident reports. I want to see everything of what they're doing. And they came back with much better reports than what I anticipated. I thought they were going to come back and say, hey, yeah, it seems to be working as planned and so forth, but it came back in much better report than what we even told it was. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. And some of the things that they learned, they're actually going to be doing in Nashville, because they said we had a learning experience over there. We're going to be able to fix it here in Nashville when they're doing this one. So we're not even get the first run. We're getting one that they've already done, they've learned on. There is no real accident reports. Nobody's been hurt. Nothing like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been up and running for what, a couple years?
Yes.
Wow.
And sometimes they're doing over 4,000 per hour that they're moving on.
Really?
And there's not like a waiting line or anything like that. You pretty much can be almost getting on and moving directly to your destination much faster, much more effective, and safer than any like subway or anything else that you're on.
Well, here in Nashville, that they've been doing some construction. They've been building a new hotel out there, and they've changed traffic patterns a bit. And there's been a bit of traffic jam of late, which, irritates people.
It does. It does.
When this thing is built, though, that should alleviate traffic problems coming in I-40 from the airport to downtown Nashville significantly.
So if we take this to start with, we've been working on the airport from the time we started construction on that and preliminary engineering and such. It's been years. They're going to be able to do 1 mile per month. So when we're saying how fast they can do theirs, their project will be completed before ours is completed. And we've already been working on ours for almost 8 years.
Really?
And that's how fast they can do it. When we're talking 1 mile per month, and they can get right downtown, people are going to be able to get on that. Literally in less than 18 months, we should be able to start looking at getting on that tunnel and going for it ourselves. And the cost on that is going to be it's going to be cheaper than taking like a ride share. So if you say, hey, I'm going to take an Uber, I'm going to take a Lyft, this will probably be a cheaper alternative from the airport out.
All sounds pretty good.
Yes.
I hope they'll be able, I think they'll be able, they've got a good track record.
Yes.
Right? Elon Musk knows how to build things.
He does. He even lift
rockets that land, in little pincers and,
So this is going to be a very good of a private company helping us do this. And, I look at, they've done this from England to France, underneath the English Channel. So this is not new technology. They've done this. It wasn't Elon Musk that did that project, but we know the technology.
The technology to
handle it is going to be there. I will tell you something else as we're going through. When we're looking, somebody said, well, you might put out people that are driving Uber. We're not going to lose those drivers. Right now, people from Atlanta, Georgia, and from all around, they drive here so they can be an Uber driver. and they'll spend a weekend or whatever driving, and then they go back home. We're just make it where they probably won't be out-of-state drivers won't be coming in to drive those shifts. It'll be just Tennesseans doing it.
State Senator Mark Pody, representing Wilson County and a little bit of Davidson County. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's always great to have you here.
It's been a pleasure to be here.
All right. When we come back, Tom Pappert with some more news about the rule of law, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, crazy attorneys general in blue states, and a crazy leftist activist in Memphis causing problems. Back after this.
Is a record player the best way to listen to music? Of course not. So why are you still taking vitamins in pill form that haven't been upgraded since the 1930s? Even if you don't have trouble swallowing, most vitamins in pill form can't be absorbed very well. It's time to upgrade to the pill-free future of vitamins. Advanced nutrition company, Healthy Cell, created a patent-pending ingestible gel that is clinically proven to have 265% the absorption rate of tablets. These physician-formulated supplements come in a small gel pack. You tear off the top and shoot it down. You can also mix it in water. They taste great, they're convenient on the go, and they're more natural too, without chemical binders, fillers, and coatings. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com. HEALTHYCELL.com.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio Show.
WJFN W224EB 92.7 FM Chester, W299DB 107.7 Bon Air, 100.5 FM Goochland, and WJF.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Airlines are resuming their normal schedules now that the commercial flight restrictions imposed during the government shutdown have been lifted.
As of 6 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, airlines have the green light to resume regular flight schedules following a joint announcement from Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and FAA Administrator Brian Bedford. During 10 days of restrictions, 40 major hubs were impacted in the U.S., including New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Atlanta, due to safety concerns from staffing shortages and long hours at air traffic control facilities. The restrictions affected thousands of flights across the country over that time. George Williams reporting.
President Trump has ended U.S. tariffs on beef, coffee, fruit, and other food items that have become more expensive. He even admitted to reporters that in some cases tariffs may increase consumer prices. It remains to be seen if or by how much prices are affected by the move. Meanwhile, economist Steve Moore says lowering the cost of living will take some time.
I think it'll take another 6 to 9 months for Trump to fix this problem because it's embedded in the system, just like it took Reagan about 2 years to fix the inflation problem that he inherited from Jimmy Carter back 40 years ago.
Moore was interviewed on the Salem Radio Network. President Trump has backtracked in his fight with Republicans over the Jeffrey Epstein files. He now says there's nothing to hide and that House GOP lawmakers should vote to release the information. The president's reversal comes as 100 Republicans or more in the House are set to back the Epstein bill. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says it's time to formally investigate the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack, but he's angered many in Israel by appointing a government committee, not an independent one. More at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Correspondent Michael Harrington tells us that a date has now been set for a key Supreme Court case.
The justices will sit on January 13th to hear arguments on the constitutionality of 2 state laws that bar boys from playing on girls' sports teams in Idaho and West Virginia. A growing number of states are passing similar statutes amidst backlash from parents, coaches, and feminists over the gradual invasion of female sports by males. A ruling in the case is expected in the summer of next year and promises to be another landmark. Michael Harrington reporting.
A former Federal Reserve governor who retired in August listed several stock trades in her financial disclosure documents for 2024 that violated the central bank's ethics rules. The transactions were outlined in a report released by the U.S. Office of Government Ethics. Fed officials are barred from investing in individual stocks, bonds, or cryptocurrencies. News and analysis at townhall.com. An NFL player was in stable condition after being shot yesterday in New York City.
New York's mayor's office says Jets cornerback Chris Boyd was critically injured in a shooting in Midtown Manhattan. The New York Police Department says a 29-year-old man shot early Sunday was taken to a hospital where he was in critical but stable condition. Mayor Eric Adams' office says the man shot was Boyd. There had been no arrests as of Sunday. A Jets spokesperson says the team is aware of the situation. Boyd hasn't played this season, his first with the Jets, after going on the season-ending injured reserve list in August. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
On the field yesterday, the Denver Broncos extended their winning streak to 8 games with a 22-19 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. They won on a game-ending field goal. It gave them an NFL best record of 9-2. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We are delighted to welcome to our Zoom Newsmaker line the lead political reporter for us at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, Tom Pappert. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Michael.
Did I tell our listening audience that you and Christina Botteri and I have been nominated for a National Journalism Award, and I'll be up in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday to see if we win or not. How about that?
That's quite exciting. And, you know, I'm very honored that we're even double finalists. So I'm holding out hope. I've got my fingers crossed that we pull off one of these victories and we are awarded not the award itself. But, Michael, I have to be honest, it's a pretty nice feather in our cap to be the only double finalists up for the award.
Yeah, and it's sponsored by the Young Americans Foundation, which Scott Walker heads up. In conjunction with the National Journalism Center. That's part of the YAF. And it's called the Dow Prize, D-A-O. And we are nominated in two categories. One category, rather. Two of our series have been nominated. One, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, where you broke the story that led to basically his prosecution. You broke the story that in November of 2022, he was stopped by Tennessee Highway Patrol for driving too fast and swerving. And when they stopped him, they found he was driving without a valid license in a vehicle owned by a convicted human smuggler. And they had 9 people, 9, count them, who couldn't speak English in the van. And yet, at the orders of the Biden-era FBI, he was ordered to be released. You broke that story in April of this year. And, well, we've been reporting on all of the due process, $10 million plus legal fee spent for an illegal alien who has been charged with human smuggling, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. How many stories have we done on this guy, Tom?
I would say well north of 100 at this point, Michael. And unfortunately, I think we may only be like at the 2/3 point in terms of our total coverage.
I think there's more to come because every time we turn around, his very expensive attorneys from New York City and Washington, D.C. and Nashville have another filing, another attempt to kind of delay the reckoning for the alleged human smuggler, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Okay, I hesitate to ask, what's the latest in all this since we spoke last on this? On Thursday?
Michael, I have fun news and I have less fun news. And we'll start with what's happening in Maryland, where the Obama-appointed district court judge, Paula Zinnes, is being asked by Abrego Garcia's powerful and expensive immigration attorneys to keep her case going. Remember, she has an injunction in place that is blocking his removal to Liberia or any other country. The government, though, has its ducks in a row. If she lifts this injunction today, Abrego Garcia goes to Liberia tomorrow. So now, of course, with the latest filing is in, claiming that the Department of Justice has completely misread essentially every single law that applies to this case. But the most erroneous and outrageous claim within this filing, I think, Michael, is they are advancing still their position that Abrego Garcia is no longer subject to a final deportation order. And this is really kind of a linguistic trick that they're playing, in my opinion, because what they're arguing is that because Abrego Garcia was deported to El Salvador, which they claim was illegal and wrong and we had to bring him back, but because he was deported, when he was brought back to the United States, he was on a specific type of visa for people that are going to be testifying or going to be in a criminal trial. Because he has this visa, well, the final deportation order from 2019 must no longer apply. I think this is outrageous and foolhardy. I don't think that a serious judge would go with it, but Judge Paula Zinnes just might. But meanwhile, in the Tennessee case, the criminal case, there's been some interesting developments. On Thursday, the Department of Justice said that it will seek to essentially prove that Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13. They're going to have co-conspirators testify that not only is he allegedly a member, but that it was his membership that made him an attractive applicant to the human smuggling ring. He allegedly was serving sort of a muscle role when it came to experiences with this gang. The gang was not paying their bills. They would drive them across the country, smuggling them across the country, allegedly. And then MS-13 would kind of laugh at the smugglers and say they're not going to pay until Kilmar Abrego Garcia entered the scene. Prosecutors say he's had the magic secret, Michael. He could make these terrifying gang members pay their bill.
Well, that's a narrative that the defenders of the illegal alien with the allegations of human smuggling before a federal district court, they don't like that at all, do they?
No, I don't think so. And I think that this could be, assuming this case goes to trial, of course, Abrego Garcia could be deported before that happens. But it may actually be in his interest to go ahead and take that deportation because since March now, he's been able to vociferously deny the gang association. Well, if he is convicted and if the gang association is a big part of the trial, there may no longer be room for a denial.
Yeah, I think good point. Now, Paula Zinnes is probably, she's doing everything she possibly can to help Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I mean, this is such a blatant violation of the duty of a federal district court judge. It's amazing, but, you know, these days, federal district court judges pretty much do what they want, and then it's up to the appeals court to slap them down. That is, I'm talking about Obama-appointed federal district court judges or Biden-appointed federal district court judges. Usually the appeals courts slap them down, and if that doesn't happen, usually it's the Supreme Court. Although in this particular instance, because of the way the failure of Erez Raveni, the now fired Department of Justice attorney, because in my view of his failure to properly advance the cause of his client, the Department of Justice, there's some bad information still in the system that the Supreme Court believes. Remember, we talked about this before. The Supreme Court ruled that they believed that the final deportation order had to do with the withholding of removal, had to do with the country of El Salvador. But in fact, we've looked at that, and it had to do with the country of Guatemala. That is an error that has never been corrected in the legal system. Where do you think Judge Zenas will rule on this, and what will be the next steps in the process?
Well, Michael, I think that what we've seen from this judge is that she is going to side with Kilmar Abrego Garcia as much as she can possibly go, in far as that direction as she can possibly go. I think what that is likely to do, though, is create an order that is immensely appealable. Some of the other claims in the filing today from Abrego Garcia's attorneys is that he is not part of the subgroup of illegal immigrants that the Trump administration is trying to deport to third countries because he is not Venezuelan. There's non-Venezuelans in this group. They're claiming that the Trump administration's memorandum from earlier this year, I think in March, of how they're going to deport these people to third countries, that is a violation of due process. Well, Michael, there's been other courts all across the United States that have said it's not a violation of due process. So what I'm saying is, if Zenas does what I think we all expect her to do, which is side with Abrego Garcia on every single one of his points, I believe that lines this up nicely for a complete and total reversal at an appellate court.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And that could be how they deport him.
We need to run a calculator right now with the amount of money spent to defend and assist Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I think it's well over $10 million right now. What's the number going to end up, you think?
Michael, I'd say 15 is a shoo-in. We might get to 20, though.
I think you're right, 15 to 20 million. All from leftists, not a penny from the pocket of the alleged human smuggler and illegal alien, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. When we come back, a threat to a lawmaker in Memphis. Back after this.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your sat phone. Call now.
President Trump is rebuilding our economy, but we need every American in the fight. People leaving federal prison have a 60% unemployment rate, but a job is the #1 factor in preventing reoffense. The Safer Supervision Act is a pro-jobs bill. It helps people leaving prison on federal supervision rejoin our workforce to turn former prisoners into taxpayers. Strengthen our economy. Make America safer. Support the Safer Supervision Act. Visit safersupervision.com. This message paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
Why is Purple Wave Auction the fastest growing heavy equipment marketplace? Our full service online auctions take the hassle out of buying and selling farm, construction, and fleet equipment. Thousands of business owners partner with Purple Wave each month to manage their equipment. Sellers count on our experienced professionals to handle the marketing, paperwork, and payments. And bidders trust in a marketplace free of reserves and hidden fees. Purple Wave is the turnkey online auction service you've been looking for. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
How much did you win at Rosie's Gaming Emporium?
Hi, I'm Jerry from Richmond. I won a $23,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
I'm Tammy. I'm from Newport News, and I just won a $5,400 jackpot from Rosie's.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm from West Virginia, and I won $99,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
Are you ready? Learn more about Rosie's rewards and jackpots at rosiesgaming.com. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-888-532-3500.
Is your fur maybe looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Beef Fur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at beefurandaftergrooming.com. Beef Fur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours. True American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. On our Zoom newsmaker line right now, our lead political reporter at the Tennessee Star and the Star News Network, Tom Pappert. Tom, a troubling story out of Memphis, and it has to do with our very good friend, State Senator Brent Taylor. Brent's been on this program many a time. He has been a champion of making Memphis matter and a champion of talking with Democrats who want to work with Republicans. He's got a good relationship with the mayor of Memphis, Paul Young, has played a critical role in the Safe Task Force in Memphis that includes the National Guard. Well, tell us what happened with L.J. Abraham, what L.J. Abraham had to say on social media about State Senator Taylor, and who L.J. Abraham is. And, well, this is a very, very dangerous statement that L.J. Abraham has made about our friend State Senator Taylor. What's the story here, Tom?
Well, Michael, this all began over the weekend. State Senator Brent Taylor, now that Memphis is safe, the serious crime rate is down 45%, total calls to police down 20%, 2,500 people taken off the street, arrested since the task force deployed. Brent Taylor has been touring the city, patronizing local businesses, eating at restaurants, and trying to show his constituents that once again, it is their city. Well, one resident of Memphis apparently had a problem with this, and that is as you mentioned, the local activist L.J. Abraham, who wrote in a post to Facebook, Senator Brent Taylor looks like he's ready to catch one in the throat like his boy Donnie. Not much context there to know exactly what this meant. Of course, last year, President Donald Trump survived an assassination attack, shot in the ear. A second assassination attempt happened later that year. He was not shot. But Charlie Kirk, just 2 months ago now, was, of course, fatally shot in the neck. I've seen some people on the left. I guess there is some sort of Epstein email that this may reference, but I have yet to determine exactly what that is or how factual that may be. Brent Taylor, as you might imagine, Michael, was rather upset about this. He shared L.J. Abraham's words to a post on X, and L.J. Abraham ultimately deleted her post. But then today, just an hour or so before we came on the show, I saw that she added a new post to Facebook. L.J. Abraham accused Brent Taylor of making up scenarios that never happened and said that his post was in fact dangerous. Not hers, where she wants him to catch one in the neck, but no, it was Brent Taylor who's dangerous. She writes, even insinuating that I made a threat in reference to CK, Charlie Kirk, can have serious consequences in today's political climate. This claim absolutely puts my life in danger. So, Michael, I did a little bit of research on this person. As I said, she's a Memphis activist, runs something called the 901 Community Fridge, one of these left-wing free food efforts. And interestingly enough, she's been at multiple Black Lives Matter styled protests over Tyree Nichols and other topics. She claimed 2 years ago that the real problem in Memphis is that there is not enough community mental health help for those who are committing crimes. So apparently she wants crimes to go down, just not the way Brent Taylor has managed to make it happen.
Does she deny that she said she hopes State Senator Brent Taylor will, quote, catch one in the throat, end quote?
No, not in that I have seen in her post. She's a very active social media user, this activist L.J. Abraham. But I think the claim is that that's not what she meant. She didn't mean catch one in the throat as in assassination. Perhaps instead it was a bizarre and grotesque sexual reference that most people are not going to catch.
Yeah, that's kind of a stretch. Look, I mean, if you look at it right now, the on the far left, you've had a number of crazies talking about this, catching one in the throat, for instance, referencing the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I don't see how anybody can read that to be anything other than a reference to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Your thoughts, Tom Pappert?
I don't see how a reasonable person could come away with it in any other direction as well. There was no linkage to the Jeffrey Epstein emails that were released last week. There was no explanation as to what else catch one in the throat could mean. I think if you had 100 people who had no idea who this person is or what this post represents, didn't even have a name associated with it, if you had them read catch one in the throat, most people, I think, would assume you're talking about political assassination of those you disagree with.
Does, in your view, does this rise to the level of harassment, which is a misdemeanor? And I don't know how old Senator Taylor is, but harassment to somebody over the age of 65 is a felony in the state of Tennessee. I know about that because I had some, a fellow that was convicted of a misdemeanor who made certain threats to me back a couple years ago here in Nashville. Your thoughts on that?
Well, Brent Taylor, he's a whippersnapper, I guess, like me. He's 57 years old, so I don't think this could be a felony. However, I think it would be a critical miss in today's violent climate for law enforcement not to pursue this and to figure out what the purpose of the post was to interview this person. If there is a case, it would be a massive mistake not to make it.
Right.
We've seen assassinations.
Yeah.
We've seen death threats against U.S. senators in the state of Tennessee. This is not a time to say, oh, it was just a joke. Let's give her a free pass on this one. No, this is a time for law enforcement to be serious.
So I think what I would do is, why don't you ask District Attorney Mulroy down there in Shelby County if this constitutes harassment by L.J. Abraham against State Senator Taylor. And then I suppose you could ask the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. And I think that folks at the Department of Justice, even though State Senator Taylor is not a federal officer, this could be construed as a violation of his civil rights, it seems to me. So I doubt Mulroy. I doubt that this guy's going to respond to you by saying something like, oh, it was just a turn of a phrase. I don't know. Quote, she hopes State Senator Brent Taylor will, quote, catch one in the throat, end quote. I don't see how you can take that any other way than as a threat, Tom.
I don't see how a reasonable person could take that any other way. Perhaps this is an unreasonable person. But if that is the case, I think investigators should make that determination, not two guys on the radio or anybody on X.com or Facebook.com. One additional thing, she mentioned in her post this morning the Memphis Safe Task Force by name, thinking about why the DOJ may get involved. But Michael, she seems to think they should be investigating State Senator Brent Taylor for having the audacity to complain when she wrote that he should again take one in the throat.
Yeah. Well, look, I think this is a worthy topic to explore, Tom. And, I mean, let's get Mulroy on the record. You might even ask Ms. Abram to say, now, look, Ms. Abram, you said you hope that Senator Taylor, quote, catches one in the throat, end quote. How can anybody come to any other conclusion? See if you can get her on the record on that. I doubt that she'll respond. Tom Pappert, look, by the way, I will be leaving for Washington, D.C. Tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll be at the National Journalism Center Awards Wednesday night, representing you, Tom Pappert, and our executive editor, Christina Boterias. The three of us are up for in two of our series, one on Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the other on the Covenant Killer Manifesto. We are up for a National Journalism Award. And so Thursday morning, I'll report back the results. And, we hope we'll win. We'll see how it turns out. All because of your great reporting, Tom. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Michael. And it's a little early on your show for champagne, but maybe we'll have to get some sparkling grape juice to celebrate on Thursday.
We'll see. We've got 2 out of 6 nominations. We'll see how it turns out. Tom, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Michael. Always a pleasure.
In our next hour, we'll be in studio Ben Cunningham with the Nashville Tea Party. But up next, what's wrong with Marjorie Taylor Greene? That's a question a lot of people want to know the answer to. I don't have an answer, but there's something wrong with her. Back after this.
Folks, this is Crom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea. I have recently turned 77 years old. I do not take prescription drugs. I have not had to take prescription drugs, and I attribute a lot of my good health to a product that I've been taking, which is the active ingredient in Soul Tea. It's a 22% concentration of theaflavin. We did clinical trials on it 25 years ago and found that it helped lower cholesterol. We have had many, many hundreds of letters and emails from customers telling us how it has helped them not only manage their cholesterol, but lower their triglycerides and help them on their blood pressure. And I can't tell you how much I attribute to Soul Tea for my good health at age 77. And I encourage you to go to GodzillaHeart.com. That's GodzillaHeart.com. And use the code Godzilla at checkout, and you'll get a 50% off on your initial shipment of Soul Tea. And I promise you it will be a great help for your heart health. Thanks so much.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Attorney General Miyares and John Fredericks talk about skill games.
They're unregulated slot machines.
They pop up in 7-Elevens in every corner of Virginia.
The General Assembly has spoken on this.
Skill games.
These things are illegal.
It's the Wild Wild West. Fights break out. Robberies increase.
Skill games.
They prey on the less fortunate.
I say it's a tax on the poor.
They're breaking the law.
My job is to enforce the law. These machines are not allowed.
Enforce the law and get them out of there.
When you see skill games, call the local sheriff.
These things are illegal.
Paid for by Churchill Downs.
Cold weather is here, and it's only getting colder. When you want instant whole room warmth, you go with Eden Pure, a trusted name for years on my show. Now they've done it again with the Eden Pure Gen 40 Plus infrared heater. This powerful compact unit gives you fast, even heat you can feel in seconds. Infrared heat warms you directly, not just the air around you, and it doesn't dry out the air. It's quiet, compact, and safe with multiple built-in safety shutoffs, and it heats up to 1,000 square feet. Perfect for the living room, bedroom, or office. And right now, Eden Pure is thanking our listeners. The Gen 40 Plus normally sells for $224, but Eden Pure is giving our VIP listeners an additional $50 off, bringing it to just $174. That's right, only $174 for state-of-the-art infrared heater. Now, this is a limited time offer with a strict limit of 3, and supplies are moving fast. So go to EdenPureDeals.com, use promo code Godzilla50. EdenPureDeals.com, promo code Godzilla50.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
My fellow Americans, I was this close, very close, to buying from the lumber yards. These are sick people. But I turned my head at the last second, and I saw a big, beautiful ad for D.T. McCall's. These are highly respected people. If I had not turned my head at the last second, I would have been ripped off at some lumber yard for $200 in hidden charges, and D.T. McCall and Sons are never going to do that. They'd never do that to you. These are great people. I've known them for a long time. They have great deals, and I just have to say, nobody knows deals like I do. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. These are tremendous people. D.T. McCall & Sons. Check out one of their stores today.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to weigh in, our phone number is 615-814-2848, 615-814-2848. We need to know 3 things. Number 1, your name. Number 2, your state of residence. And 3, your topic. 1, your name. 2, state of residence. 3, topic. 615-814-2848. You can watch us every day on X Live at this time. Also, we're on YouTube. We're on Roku TV, Apple TV, and Fire Stick TV. And I keep promising Rumble. Rumble soon. Just hang in there. Okay, I wasn't really sure I wanted to do this today, but it's out there, and so let's talk about it. What on earth is going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene? All of a sudden now she's decided that she's more America first than Donald Trump. She's been criticizing Trump. And look, I think Donald Trump, there's one main area where I think he's mistaken. That's in the H-1B visas. But beyond that, this guy is he's one of the 3 greatest presidents in American history, in my view. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Donald Trump. That's, they're the top three, in my view. But Marjorie Taylor Greene has kind of gone on a strange kick these days. She is a congresswoman from Georgia, was thinking about at some point running for senator from Georgia, running for governor from Georgia. Apparently not going to do that right now. But she's come out in odd sort of ways and has been very, very critical of Donald Trump. She was on The View the other day, and now she's on CNN. What did she say on CNN? Well, we've got that clip right now. Let's hear what she has to say, because this doesn't ring true to me. Clip 5, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something
Let's
I've
pause
thought
it just
about
for a moment, because, okay, I'll get into that. What are you talking about here? Donald Trump is verbally critical of people who are leftist nutcases? Yeah, I think that's fine. Who is the one who's had assassination attempts? Yeah, it's been assassination attempts against Donald Trump. July 13th, 2024. A kid whose motivations remain unknown tried to kill him. Killed, Corey Campanelli there, and a bullet hit him in the ear. And then this crazy guy tried to kill him, or had a gun ready to kill him down in on a golf course in Florida. So I don't see that at all. I don't see the president inciting violence. I think the president is making strong political points, and the violence is coming from the left. So Marjorie Taylor Greene's got a different tune, and she's so terrible. I was all for him being critical, but not now. Nah, it doesn't ring true with me. Something else is going on. All right, more in this CNN love fest with Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday.
Especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions, and I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences.
Well, let's stop. It's not true. That is not true. That used to be America, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But today, you have a far left that is hell-bent on destroying our country and has a very different notion of the role of violence in political discourse. You see all the polling now, 25, 30% of Democrats favor violence and murder to accomplish their goals, right? It's okay to kill an opponent. I mean, look at the polling on that. So we don't have a lot in common with 25% of the population, because they are committed to a communist view of the world. They are committed to the use of political violence to quiet and silence their opponents. So what is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that for? Let's keep rolling.
And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama. Just examples.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Okay, so
Congresswoman.
So this is not going to happen because she is intentionally misrepresenting the state of the country right now, right? Can't we all just get along? No, 25% of the country does not want to get along. President Trump had a few words to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here he is, clip 20.
Her life is in danger. Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her. Okay, what about you?
Are you negotiating?
Okay, so how do you deal with your opponents? You're ridiculed. Marjorie Taylor Greene, he calls her. I think anybody cares about it. Well, look, clearly she's trying to elevate her profile, but she has a message that is not consistent with the way the world actually is today. I mean, there is a good chunk of the population that does not embrace traditional American values, 25%. And, they're trying to grow it right now. So the future is we win, they lose. It's not try to get along with them. You try to get along with the left, and they're going to roll you. And she knows that. She's not stupid. She's got another objective here. Now, the Democrats are saying, we've got a great leadership here for the country. Ro Khanna, R.O. Khanna, he's a Democrat congressman from California, is talking about the leadership of the Democratic Party. Let's play this clip 13.
The question is, what is the future of Democratic leadership? Who is going to be effective? And most Democrats around the country just don't think that person is Chuck Schumer. I mean, he doesn't inspire confidence. He's not bold. He's out of touch with the grassroots. He's someone who led us into the war in Iraq. He doesn't have the moral clarity on Gaza. He couldn't say Mamdani's name. And this was the final straw where he was not strong on fighting for health care.
So who is the person who you think should lead Democrats into the future in the Senate? Who's at the top of that list for you, Congressman?
Well, Senator Kaine has already given me a hard time for just saying that their minority leader should be someone different. I think if I endorsed someone, it would probably hurt them more than help them. But we have dynamic, young, new leaders.
Who are some of the top
Chris
names?
Murphy is a top leader. Cory Booker is a dynamic leader. Brian Schatz is a dynamic leader. I mean, Elizabeth Warren is someone whose ideology I appreciate.
Okay,
There are a lot of great
newsflash, Ro Khanna. Elizabeth Warren is neither dynamic nor young. She is a hardcore leftist and a liar about her own heritage. Now, here's another potential leader that the Democrats would look at. The grandson of John F. Kennedy, his name is Jack Schlossberg. He's running for Congress. He just insulted his first cousin, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Let's play this clip 1.
And President Trump, and it's not just my family's legacy. It's generations of Americans and New Yorkers who fought and sacrificed to build this country. And he is dismantling that legacy. He's so obsessed with the Kennedys and the Kennedy name and the Kennedy brand that he caged one and put it in his cabinet, a rabid dog in his cabinet, put a collar on my cousin RFK Jr. and has him there barking, spreading lies and spreading misinformation.
Really? You say that about your first cousin? But this Jack Schlossberg guy, we've played other clips of him. The phrase would be John F. Kennedy would be rolling over in his grave right now to know what a nutcase his grandson is. I mean, Schlossberg, he's done some very weird, bizarre YouTube videos. Is this guy the future of the Democratic Party? He might be, because I think the reality is, in today's world, there is a very serious mental health problem among a lot of folks, mostly among Democrats, who cannot look at reality, who cannot understand reality. That is 100% certain. So we'll see how this all plays out. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on here in the 7th Congressional District special election. It's not a gimme. And George Soros is trying to play ball here. Back after this.
Ponder this. Most of us are familiar with social media influencers. You know, people that claim expertise on some probably irrelevant topic. Many hours are wasted following people online who do not add an ounce of value to our lives. There is only one influencer who matters, and you should be following him and his messages every day. He holds the keys to our peace. He shows us how to live lives of meaning. He is there to help us carry our daily crosses. He is Jesus Christ, and he is the influencer extraordinaire. Are you one of his followers? Or are you wasting time with useless information that will not bring peace and love to your life? Ask the Lord each day to provide you with spiritual influence that will change your life forever. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
Did you ever stop and think, why do the wealthy pay less taxes than we do? One reason, they take full advantage of the IRS tax code. Today's tax code is over 2 million pages. Who can read that? Remember the 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton? When asked why he doesn't pay more taxes, President Trump had the perfect answer. He said, if you don't like the current tax code, change it. I follow the very laws that you wrote. That's where Julio Gonzalez and his company, Tax Engineered Services, comes in. Julio's team looks at your taxes after they're done, but before you file them with the IRS. He doesn't get between you and your accountant. He reviews your taxes, makes his recommendations, and only gets 5 to 10% of what he saved you. No money up front, no cost. It's tax literacy for MAGA. He also sees what grants you may qualify for. For more information, text ETS to the number 26786. That's ETS to 26786. Text now.
What if you had a plan to build income outside your job? At Lifestyles Unlimited, you'll learn how people are investing in real estate to grow their income and make smarter financial choices one property at a time. Right now, join us for just $297. That's a savings of $443 off our real estate education program. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Is your fur baby looking a bit rough? Transform them from shaggy to snazzy with Befur and After Pet Grooming in Marietta, Georgia. Their top-notch groomers pamper your pups with baths, custom cuts, and nail trims that'll have them strutting like show dogs. From mobile grooming vans to their cozy salon, they'll make your pet spa day a tail-wagging blast. Book now at BefurandAfterGrooming.com. Befur and After, where pets go from grr to glamorous.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We'll be joined in our next hour by our very good friend, Ben Cunningham, the founder of the Nashville Tea Party. But right now, I want to send out a warning sign to Republicans in the 7th Congressional District here in Tennessee. A breaking story just now from the Daily Caller by Ashley Brassfield. It's a darn good story, and we'll have this up or summarized, if you will, shortly at the Tennessee Star, TennesseeStar.com. Headline: Dark money operation targets special election in Tennessee with spoiler strategy, documents show. And again, the 7th Congressional District, Mark Green represented this district and resigned. There was a primary to replace him, and Matt Van Epps, the West Point graduate, won the Republican primary handily. On the Democrat side, Afton Bain, the self-proclaimed AOC of Tennessee, narrowly won the Democrat primary. So the December 2nd special general election is between the far-left nutcase, Afton Bain, and the strong and steady West Point graduate, Matt Van Epps. But the Democrats have felt a little wind in their sails with the strength of the Democrat tickets, the far-left Democrat tickets in New York City, in Virginia, and New Jersey, and the most surprising to me, the fact that the far-left, inexperienced Attorney General candidate in Virginia, the Democrat Jay Jones, the one who wanted to, in text messages, kill his opponent, the then Speaker of the House, the Republican Speaker of the Virginia House, and wanted to see his 2 children die in the arms of his wife. That guy won election as the chief law enforcement officer of the state of Virginia by 6.5 points. So the left is thinking, oh, here in Tennessee 7th District, which is, a plus 19 Republican district. I think Mark Green won it last time around by about 20 points. It includes Davidson County, that's Nashville. It's about 25% of it. Williamson County, which is about 25% of it. The affluent suburban county just south of Nashville, and Montgomery County, where Fort Campbell is located, that's about 25% of it. And about 11 rural districts. One warning sign that came out of the primary was the huge turnout in Davidson County of Democrats versus Republicans. 14,000 Democrats voted in the primary election in Davidson County, only 3,000 Republicans. That is a huge delta, and one that indicates that, Republicans, particularly in Davidson County, need to get out and vote. Well, there's trouble in paradise now, and the trouble comes from the dark money operation of George Soros and the like. They are targeting this election with a spoiler strategy, and as Daily Caller reporter Ashley Brassfield report, I'll just read it to you. A dark money operation is targeting the special election for former Tennessee Republican Mark Green seat using a spoiler strategy to sway the race, according to documents obtained by the Daily Caller. The effort to boost the independent candidate in Tennessee's 7th District is being led by the Democrat liberal PAC, Your Community. You've seen some of these ads here on television. On October 31st, this PAC released a poll showing Republican Matt Van Epps leading Democrat State Rep Afton Bain by 8 points. Okay, but what's the trouble here? Following the release of the poll, the group, which is connected, by the way, to the leftist 1630 Fund, whose donors include nonprofits tied to, wait for it, George Soros, began distributing mailers in the district to boost the independent candidate, John Thorpe. He withdrew from the GOP primary to run without a party label. And basically, 85% of the PAC's 2024 cycle spending went to support Democrats, while the remaining 15% went to Republicans. Both funds are part of, wait for it, the Arabella Advisors Network, which the Atlantic has labeled the mothership of Democrat dark money, funneling hundreds of millions of dollars in anonymous donations into elections nationwide. The PAC appears to be taking an interference approach in the volunteer state special election, running an ad Friday to promote Thorpe and basically saying, go for the independent. Alongside its robust mail operations, Google Ad Archive shows that there are a lot of ads going forward here as well. Okay, so it's early voting right now. If you are a Republican and you live in Davidson County, Williamson County, or Montgomery County, or the other 11 counties, you need to go and vote for Matt Van Epps. Otherwise, the left, they're going to try to sneak this in. They also have a door-to-door operation, Indivisible, right? Like one of these nonprofits. They're very active in Davidson County. So it's time to get out. It's time to get off your couch today and go down and vote. Because, these special elections, this is where the lefts can kind of sneak up on you. All right, when we come back, our very good friend, Nashville Tea Party founder, Ben Cunningham, talk about property taxes and all things Tennessee. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. Back after this.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's the top news of the day.
John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby tackle today's biggest issues with a New York state of mind.
We are going to talk about dirty money.
This is a total failure of the media, the journalists, and the Democratic Party.
Treat yourself to a bite of the apple.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
Cats and Cosby, weekdays 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the Media Network.
And those are the big headlines of the day.
Let's be real. Losing weight isn't just about looking good. It's about taking back control of your overall health. 42% of adults in America are classified as obese, and obesity is directly linked to severe health issues. If you've tried diets and different workouts with no success, it's not your fault. Big Food and Big Pharma have rigged the system against you with contradicting information, leaving you confused. But there's good news. The Wellness Company just launched Drop, a GLP-1 peptide oral drop formula developed by their chief medical board, specifically designed to support your metabolism, curb cravings, and help you shed weight. That's right, no injections, no risk of the severe side effects we're seeing with Ozempic. Start your weight loss journey today and get $100 off, plus free shipping. Go to twc.health/Godzilla and use promo code Godzilla100. That's twc.health/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla100. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at
WENO Nashville, KQPN West Memphis, AM 760, AM 730. The Flame.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Federal Aviation Administration has lifted its flight restrictions on commercial airline travel.
The FAA said it recommended rescinding the order after what it called detailed reviews of safety trends and the steady decline of staffing trigger events at air traffic control facilities. Cancellations hit their highest point a week ago last Sunday when airlines cut more than 2,900 flights. Air traffic controllers were among the federal employees who had to continue working without pay during the shutdown. They missed 2 paychecks during the impasse.
That is correspondent George Williams. President Trump signaling he plans to meet with New York City's new mayor, Zohran Mamdani.
The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us, and we'll work something out. but he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
Mamdani has positioned himself as a symbol of resistance against Donald Trump. The Enhanced Affordable Care Act premium subsidies expanded during COVID are set to expire at the end of the year. Republican strategist Aaron McGuire says it's a crisis that's been brewing for quite some time.
Republicans were screaming for years. I remember working in the Senate back in 2014. We were talking about Obamacare every day and how unsustainable it was in the long run. And now we're having to face that reality.
And McGuire told the Salem Radio Network that Obamacare is part of a broader affordability crisis, one that Republicans simply can't afford to be found flat-footed on.
Mike Johnson is the Speaker and Leader Thune is the Senate Leader. This is a very tough conversation, but if we don't lead on this, Democrats will beat us over the head on affordability, whether it's housing, groceries, or health care going into the midterms.
And without renewal of the Obamacare subsidies, which is set to happen on December 31st now, the premiums could double for millions of enrollees, and it could also lead to another government shutdown. More from townhall.com.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month. But if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
President Trump said House Republicans should vote to release the files in the Jeffrey Epstein case. That's after he previously fought against the idea. Here's correspondent Mike Hempen with the latest.
Democrats and some Republicans have been pushing a measure that would force the Justice Department to make public more documents from the case. The precedent shift is an implicit acknowledgement that they have enough votes to pass the House, although the measure's future in the Senate is uncertain.
Writing on social media last night, the president said, quote, "We have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetrated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party." Democrats and some Republicans have been pushing for a measure that would force the Justice Department to make public more of those documents from the case. On Wall Street, a mixed bag right now. The Dow is off 7 points, the NASDAQ up about 70. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Here's a midday Wall Street business report.
Disney-owned channels, including ABC and ESPN, are back on YouTube TV. The content went dark on October 30th after the two sides failed to reach a new licensing deal. The blackout affected coverage of top college football matchups and professional sports games, among other news and entertainment programs, on the Google-owned live streaming platform. AI giant NVIDIA will release its quarterly earnings later this week. The company has been the pace setter for AI-related stocks in this year's Wall Street rally. NVIDIA's results will be a crucial bellwether for the tech sector. Ford Motor Company is showing off its new world headquarters building in Dearborn, Michigan. The new HQ is double the size of its old one, with room for twice as many employees, plus 7 restaurants, design studios, and, of course, cars. I'm Greg Clugston.
You'll find more of these stories at Town Hall.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, a constitutional populist for more than a quarter of a century in terms of activism. The one, the only. Ben Cunningham, founder of the Nashville Tea Party.
Michael, what an intro. Thank you, sir, very much.
It's
Appreciate
a true statement.
Well, it's thank you. It's fun being an activist.
It is fun.
It's great fun, and you're involved in politics every day, and My involvement started back in the income tax protest relief. I'd listened to Rush
2000.
Limbaugh
Yeah.
way before that, like all of us, I
Yeah.
think, and kind of gotten our indoctrination there. But yeah, it's great fun being involved, and we have a challenge. The folks on the left are getting active. And unfortunately, many of them actually believe socialism is a good thing. I don't think many of them do, but there are some useful idiots.
No, I think a lot of them do.
You think so?
Yeah. No, just a little background here for everybody. I mean, you have been a leader in constitutional populism here in Tennessee for over a quarter of a century. You made money in business. You're a good businessman. And from there, now that you made your money, you said, well, what am I going to do? And then you were one of the key people that helped stop the state income tax in Tennessee in 2000. You, along with the Killer Bees, Marsha Blackburn, Diane Black, May Beavers, who were state legislators. I'm going to add Tim Burchett into the Killer Bees.
Tim Burchett.
He was there, too.
Trey Hargett was there.
Yeah. That's right. Our current Secretary of State. And stopped it. And that was sort of the beginning. If you want to really look at the Tea Party movement, if you want to look at the MAGA movement, it all began with the Tennessee tax revolt back in 2000. It really did. And that's a quarter of a century of a lot of activism on your part.
Yeah, and Connecticut was the state, the last state to implement an income tax, and they had protests, but unfortunately they were just a day late with their protest, and we had guys from Connecticut come down and help us during our protest, and their one message was, you've got to act now. And we came darn close. We came within one vote of a state income tax, and so their message resonated. And unfortunately, I think we have got to help the folks in New York City. We've got to help the folks in Seattle. And one you didn't mention the other day that's really depressing to me, they just elected a DSA member in Atlanta. And she is a piece of work.
They're all pieces of work.
She's a queer community organizer, and just cut from the same mold. She was on the news the other day, and they interviewed her and asked her what a democratic socialist was, and she gave this word salad answer that would make Kamala blush, and it was just
gibberish.
All about democracy. We got to have democracy. We got a fascist in the White House, and we got to have democracy. Nobody knows what that means. Of course, that's the point. It's all these platitudes and meaningless rhetoric, but Mandami, the lady in Seattle, this lady in Atlanta, they have enough of a skill set with rhetoric that these folks these poor, folks that have been brought up in the educational system over the last 15, 20 years, they just can't distinguish. They can't do critical thinking about what they're saying.
But they want free stuff.
Absolutely.
Mamdani in New York City is saying, we're going to have free bus rides.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they tried that in Memphis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Would you like to listen to a clip about that?
Yeah,
we'll play that clip. Free buses in Memphis. How's that working out?
The 703 never showed. The next bus was supposed to arrive at 7:33. When the bus finally did get there at 7:40, it drove right by us. Bus is turning. Wait, stop! 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 I spotted a MATA supervisor and ran toward the car.
We've been waiting an hour. The 703, 733. Never showed.
The supervisor said the 703 wasn't running tonight, and the 733 broke down at Poplar and Yates. Running late, that's the bus that failed to stop and pick us up.
I apologize for that.
The supervisor provided a ride back to the transit station downtown, telling us he often does this when buses break down. And with that...
There you go.
Pretty much it.
That's
free buses in Memphis.
That's what Zoran Mamdani wants to bring to New York City. Doesn't Freddie O'Connell want to bring something like that to Nashville?
That's precisely. And it's, these situations, transit is such a weird situation. About less than 2% of people take transit to work. So 98% of Nashvillians choose to use their car to go from point A to point B. And yet, they were able to convince people that they needed to raise their taxes $50 million a year for indefinitely, to pay for something that 2% of the people use, and those 2% only use it because they absolutely have no access to a car. The most efficient and effective way to help those people and get them on the path to employment would be to get them a car. That, if we've looked at the stats. Randall O'Toole, guy with Cato, and I've communicated a lot about this. The path to prosperity for those folks is to get them a car. Get them so they can get to work. A bus is on a fixed route, point to point. It will not get you, in about 95% of the cases, it will not get you close to your work. We all know that. But and thank goodness y'all were talking earlier about the boring company and it's privately financed, and it goes from exactly where people need it, from downtown to the airport, where all the tourists need it, where the business people can use it. That's going to be a great boon, and it's not going to cost taxpayers a single penny. And Megan Barry wanted to spend, I think it was $1 billion on a tunnel, and hers came right through downtown. There would be years of disruptions. It's crazy, and we fought that and beat that, but we didn't beat the transit last year. But,
the bottom line to all this, Ben, is that there is a growing percentage of our population that doesn't have a real understanding of our system of government.
Yep.
And wants stuff for free.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And it's a growing percentage. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt about it.
Yep.
And it has to be addressed. Ultimately, you're talking about, changing the educational system dramatically.
Yep.
But in the immediacy, what does it mean? It means that there has to be political engagement on our side. No question about that.
Yeah, we've got to catch up. We've got to catch up. Unfortunately, economists saw this. Joseph Schumpeter, the guy who created the phrase creative destruction, also said in one of his famous books that capitalism was so good at creating prosperity that it would create a class of people that were detached from economic activity. They were detached from the production of goods and services, and they really had no idea how you produced wealth and how you produced prosperity. And he's absolutely correct.
That's where we are right now.
We've got the people at the universities completely detached from the economic process. We got people on SNAP who think money is created from the money tree in Washington, and they just snatch it off the money tree and then send it to them. It is depressing that we had this mindset, but you're right, it's there, and we've got to do something to change it.
Well, that's a longer term situation. In the immediate term, what we have to do is, if you live in the 7th Congressional District,
yes,
you need to go out and vote for Matt Van Epps,
I can't
the Republican.
imagine having Afton Bain.
But then there's other things that have to be done.
Lordy.
Long term. Right now, the redistricting has to happen at various states. And you have to really focus on important issues. And one of them we'll talk about when we get back.
Right.
Back after this.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just 1 scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service, great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
I didn't risk my life for this country just to watch career politicians wreck it.
Matt Van Epps, 9 combat tours. True American hero.
Now, I'm on a new mission to bring down prices, create good-paying jobs, and lower healthcare costs for working families. I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message to fight for America, because that's what I've done my whole life.
Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Ben Cunningham, good friend, founder of the Nashville Tea Party. Ben, are we allowed to have this much fun in public?
Yes, absolutely. It's not illegal yet.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. The United States has not become the United Kingdom, nor will it become the United Kingdom.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about a country destroying itself in 3 decades or less.
It is, and it's depressing to see the cops basically arresting people for
free speech.
Free speech.
Yeah.
I mean, the home of the Magna Carta and all the great philosophers that form the foundation of.
It resides here in the United States of America.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate it next year, and
it resides in the hearts and minds of constitutional conservatives like you and me and our listeners.
Yep,
that's where it resides.
Yep,
because the concept of sort of the Anglo-American ideas of liberty and freedom of speech, they don't exist in the United Kingdom anymore.
No,
they exist here.
No.
In our hearts and minds.
And if we don't hold them in reverence and promote them and teach our children and grandchildren, it will die.
Well,
we're going to away.
We're going to teach them.
We will go into the dark ages.
There's another topic that you brought up, and I thought, well, Ben's bringing this topic up. There must be something to it. And the more I looked into it, I said, well, yeah. Actually, I said it a little bit more emphatically. I got to, heck yeah. Property taxes.
Yes. There really has been an awakening, I think, all across the country. Ron DeSantis kind of led the charge. Now Governor Abbott in Texas is trying to do away with he's not quite as radical. Ron DeSantis says, let's do away with all property taxes.
See, the more, when you first brought this to my attention, I said, well, they've got to, local governments have to have a source of revenue. I understand. But then as the taxes go up and up and up, then you look around and say, now what am I getting for this? And oh, by the way, I bought my house. I've paid for my house. What am I doing? Am I renting my house from the local government now?
It is a feudal system. It's a holdover from a time when the Lord of the Manor was given land by the king, and then he would rent it out to the peasants. And the peasants would build their houses, but they would never own them.
Yeah.
They could invest money in them, and it's precisely a medieval system where you never ever hold complete clear title to your property.
So it's interesting because when you say feudal, you the word was F-E-U-D-A-L, not futile. Feudal, yeah. But that is, and it's really interesting. It's a distinguishing element between the United States of America and the United Kingdom. This was our producer Patrick was talking about the Ken Burns series on the Revolution. Even though it's Ken Burns, it's a pretty darn good series.
Yeah, I hear.
And one of the things that they were talking about, right? Why did people want to come to America? Because they wanted to own their own land.
Absolutely.
They didn't want to be serfs.
Right.
They didn't want to be beholden to the Lord of the Manor. And now if you think about it, right now, if you own a house, but it's encumbered by property tax from local government, you don't really own that house, do you?
No, and it is a lien superior to every other lien. You think your mortgage is a lien. Well, the most important lien is the lien of government. They ultimately own the title to your property, and it is a system we've got to move away from if we actually value private property. And it's like you say, it's a really good issue to make people think about our relationship to government and what it means to be a free citizen and what the role of government is. Is the role of government to control our lives and micromanage every aspect of our lives? Or is government limited? Or is government limited to these basic functions of protecting us, of enforcing contracts, and keeping us safe from other citizens who commit criminal acts? Those are the basics of government. Should government be involved in all these other activities? No, government screws things up, and we've seen it recently in the SNAP, all the debate over SNAP. We have discovered, and we all suspected it, I think. We all kind of thought that was the case. But now we're discovering SNAP is just rife with fraud and dead people getting double benefits. And we have created this whole subclass of citizens in the United States that are there to live off government, who are there to basically be leeches off the rest of us. It's a sad thing to say it, but that is the reality of it. And that's what government does in so many cases. It corrupts people. What if we took all the money that was going to SNAP and we kept that in the private economy, and then we said, okay, churches and rescue missions and nonprofits, you're the ones that are going to help people? It would be a much better system because we would be one-on-one with people and we would hold them accountable, and there would be a shame factor, which there should be, of being lazy and not being productive. Right now, people have become entitled. And they've said, I'm entitled to these for no, as Thomas Sowell says, for no good reason at all. People think that they can receive taxpayer benefits from their fellow taxpayers for no justification. And if all of this function was out of the government into the private sector, people would relate to each other, they would care for each other individually and personally. But government has taken this function, and through the U.S. Congress, we have created an absolute awful, terrible underclass of people that live their lives dependent on government, and now they believe they are entitled to government. And it's just created this awful, terrible class of people that just live their lives in this kind of dysfunctional entitlement mental health issues.
Yeah,
and it's really sad.
It's a change in the American character in this regard among a certain group, a growing group of people. Used to be what Americans were known for their can-do attitude, right? Optimism.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it.
Right.
And independence.
Right.
I'm not dependent.
Just
on
give
anybody.
me my freedom. Let me go.
Yeah. Let me go out. I'll go. I'll till the land.
Mm-hmm.
I'll build a farm, and I'll do it on my own, and get some help from my neighbors on occasion when needed.
Yep.
Right. But now, and it's interesting you reference this because I was watching this as well. So you see a lot of these video clips of the anger. Now, mercifully, when the SNAP benefits didn't come on November 1st, there wasn't a lot of violence out there. There was some, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a lot. But you did see, and I think, most of these video clips were legit, but you would see there's an attitude among some of the SNAP recipients, which is, well, I'm entitled to this. Your job is to work to give me this stuff.
Right.
And I'm not overstating the case, but if you look at it, you have it's family traditions. Grandparents get it, mother gets it, children gets it. I'm deserving of these benefits just for existing.
Right.
That is not the American attitude. It's not the American character,
no,
classically speaking. Is it?
It's socialism, and I think that's why this siren song of socialism is so appealing to so many people. They have come to believe that government is the provider for them,
Mm-hmm.
and it is again.
Yeah, well, it's the duty of taxpayers to pay taxes so that the government can give money to people that are doing nothing.
Yeah, and I think a lot.
That's
of
the way
people,
they think.
We've come to the point where a lot of people just have this magical image of government that is the provider, and it's again, it's just a matter of education, which long term, hopefully, we'll start correcting. I think people are interested more in civics education now. I think that's going to help, but it is going to be a long-term situation.
Well, again, you look at this, it took us, 50 years to get into this mess? Hopefully it'll take less than 50 to get out of it.
Well, we've got a real good opportunity next year with the 250th anniversary, and I think the awareness level is going to increase about the founding principles and what they mean, and the principles that really undergird the whole country. Hopefully we'll start discussing those, and people will start.
Well, Ben, we're going to do our part at the National Constitution Page.
Yes, yes.
We've
God
got
bless
that.
you.
We've got that, and kids will be able to go to nationalconstitutionb.com. We've written a book, Guide to the Constitution and Bill of Rights for Secondary School Students. And if you sign up for that, get the book. The B is going to be here in October based upon that. So when we come back, we'll have more with Ben Cunningham.
EJ Haast here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
My fellow Americans, my good friends, I've known them for a long time, at D.T. McCall & Sons have the deal of a lifetime for you, and nobody knows deals like I do. That much I can tell you. Nobody knows deals like I do. The lumber yards, they can hit you with hidden charges for up to $200 extra. They'll charge you for cords and hoses and haul-offs. Your money goes all over the place and out of the state, and most importantly, out of your pockets. How do they get away with that? I don't know how they do that, but on day one, if you buy from McCall's, we are going to stop the hidden charges as soon as you buy it. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. Head to one of their stores today or check them out at dtmccalls.com. You're going to love it, believe me.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
I'm Matt Van Epps, and I approve this message.
Meet woke liberal Afton Bain.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Afton Bain, so woke, she thinks it's a win to harass police.
This is great. We've got our girl squad, and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
Woke liberal Afton Bain. When she wins, we lose.
Paid for by Matt Van Epps for Congress.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, our good friend for many years, Ben Cunningham. Ben, the founder of the Nashville Tea Party. You know, you were a constitutional conservative activist before I was, because, I mean, I was cheering you on. But I went down to the Tennessee tax revolt and I think honked my horn a little bit. But, you know, I didn't really get involved until the election of Barack Obama, and then we started the Tea Party movement. So, you know, you've had a very significant influence on constitutional conservatives, the growth of that, the Tea Party movement, the MAGA movement in the country. So hats off to you for all that great work.
Thanks. I think I enjoy most is, and I haven't done it that much lately but about 5 years. During a 5-year period, I travel around the state helping taxpayer groups around the state. And that was the most fun I think I've
is fun.
had.
I know that when we did the Beat Lamar project in 2013,
yes,
of course, we went around and of course, Joe Carr, you know, ended up being the challenger to Lamar Alexander.
We came that close.
49-40. Good try, Ben. Good try. But that was a lot of fun, going around the state, talking to people. You know, the people in Tennessee, great people.
Yep.
Really great people.
Yep.
And it's just a lot of fun to talk to everybody. Now, property tax, I want to get to it here locally, what it means for the state of Tennessee. But let's talk about, so Ron DeSantis is really pushing for the elimination of property taxes in Florida, making a good argument. I think what he's also doing is he's seeing a political issue.
Yes.
And
he is.
And look, ambition beats in the heart of every elected politician.
Mm-hmm.
They, almost every single one of them, looks in the mirror and sees the future president of the United States.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's just a
yeah.
part of the deal.
Well, he's made no secret of his ambitions.
And so his first time around didn't do so well. But he was running against the Trump buzzsaw, which is nobody can take that on. But I think this property tax thing probably, I'm gonna predict that he's going to run for president in 2028. But somebody else will as well. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz is going to run also.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Ron DeSantis, I think, has as good a claim as anybody to a true small government conservative.
In terms of a track record.
Yeah.
The second greatest state in the country right now is Florida.
Yeah.
The first being, of course, Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Right? But his track record is very good. His delivery and his persona, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just to be honest.
Yeah.
Love you, Ron, but you're no Donald Trump.
Right.
Right.
But the property tax issue, he has been at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
And I think
that's his issue.
It is his issue. And he is saying, let's do away with property taxes. So many of the folks will come out and they're kind of equivocal about it and say, well, we'll do away with it. And I think Abbott in Texas is saying we'll do away with it on school the part of the revenue that goes to schools. But Ron DeSantis is saying, no, let's get rid of it. And they're also, our friend Tom Zawistowski in Ohio is working with the group up there, and they want to get rid of it. And they're basically saying, we're going to put it on the ballot. It's a constitutional amendment. If they get, I think it's 200,000 signatures, and I think they'll probably get it. And it's a very clean constitutional amendment. It says no more property taxes. And if you want to replace the revenue, then you come to the citizens and you say, hey, this is how we want to replace the revenue. And they're not afraid of saying to government, okay, you conform your policies to the people, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And I think that it's such a wonderful, great issue. In Nashville, this is a lingering issue because of the reappraisal that happened last year. People got hit with huge tax increases. And in very liberal blue Davidson County, people are pissed off about their property tax bill, and it is an issue that resonates with so many people. And we've had attempts in the past in Tennessee to cap the property tax. I was involved in 2006 with an amendment to the Nashville Metro Charter, which overwhelmingly passed, which put a cap on the property taxes. But unfortunately, frankly, we just put the cap at an absolute rate, and as the values have gone up, that rate has gone down, so the cap has been irrelevant. But 77% of deep blue Davidson County, when that was voted in 2006, said, yes, we want a cap on property taxes. The public sentiment is clearly there. Beacon Center, Art Laffer, and other folks have tried to put caps on property taxes in the past. But, of course, all these government-funded lobbying groups, the sheriffs, the county mayors, we can't emphasize this enough. These guys form these nonprofit associations, the Sheriff's Association, the County Mayor's Association. They then pay the dues to those associations with taxpayer money. They then take that money and hire lobbyists to go down to the state capitol and lobby on their behalf, not on the taxpayers' behalf, but on specifically on getting more money for all these little individual groups that make up county government. The assessors, all of them have these lobbyists down there, and us poor old taxpayers don't have anybody representing us except our elected representatives, and many times, frankly, they don't look at this as representing the most important budget of all. The most important budget of all is not the state budget. It's not the county budget. It is the taxpayer's family budget. That's the most important budget of all. And we've got to have people who are down there who are representing our family budget. That is the source of prosperity for all of this country is our own individual budgets. That's the budget we need to keep prosperous, and that's the budget we need to keep in the forefront. And I think that's why this property tax this year, Beacon Center is going back with a property tax limitation. I hope at some point, it won't be this year, but as the public support bills for eliminating property taxes, in another 2 or 3 years, we can actually have the prospect of going to the legislature, getting a property tax elimination bill or a state amendment put in there. Now, this year,
a constitutional
amendment. We will be voting in the next governor's race on a ban on statewide property taxes. That's in the Tennessee Constitution. Right. We've never used it. We only use it for local and city and city and county. But we are going to vote on that. It will pass overwhelmingly. Easily. And hopefully at some point within the very near future, we'll be able to vote on a constitutional amendment which will do away with property taxes. As we've talked about, it's a holdover from feudal times where the lord of the manor kept title to your property.
I really own your house.
I really own your house. And it's almost like a good old Monty Python skit, But hopefully at some point we'll be able to do that. But at the very least this year, legislators have got to listen to the people and pass a very strict property tax limit. I haven't seen the legislation yet, but Beacon Center is talking about
do you know who the sponsors are?
Well, I don't think that we're to that point.
Oh, it's the Beacon Center's proposal.
Beacon Center is working on it.
Got it.
And they're going to one proposal is to require every property tax increase to be voted on by the people. That's precisely, and that's really what the amendment that we got in 2006 passed. It said if you're proposing a property tax above this particular rate, it has to be voted on by the citizens of Davidson County, and that's part of the Metro Charter right now.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about funding local government, right?
Right.
So the property, if you look at a county government, a good chunk of their revenue comes from property tax, right? What other sources do they have typically?
Sales tax.
Sales tax. They get a portion of that. Of course,
fees and use taxes and that kind of thing.
But the typical county in Tennessee today, 40% of their revenue come from property tax?
At least, yeah.
50%?
50%, yeah. It's a major part of their revenue.
Okay, so what happens if that goes away?
There are many
over
ways
time?
to kind of skin this cat. An intermediate solution is you could simply take away the right of the local government to take your house. They could tax you based on a value, but they couldn't legally take your property.
How many people lose their houses to unpaid property taxes?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
it's the threat.
The threat is very real.
And just the fact that government can do that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It doesn't happen that often, I don't think. But it is.
I don't know.
It is.
But if you own your house and you don't have a mortgage on it, but if you know that if you don't pay your property taxes, the government could come in and take your house.
Yeah, that's the point. It's the fact that government has a claim on your property that is superior to any other claim. That's wrong. And that should, if private property means anything, the most important investment that 90% of people have is their house. They've worked for years and years and years to pay it off. That should not be under threat of the government coming in like the lord of the manor saying, this is really our property. You've worked mighty hard over the years to keep it, to maintain it, to enhance it, to pass it on to your children and grandchildren. But we're going to come take it if you don't pay these particular taxes.
Yeah, good point.
That is wrong. It is absolutely contrary to all the basic principles that we hold dear about government and our relationship to government. We got to get rid of it.
Is there any county official anywhere who would say, "Yeah, I'm in favor of getting rid of the property taxes"?
No.
No, they wouldn't.
No. Not until there would be some alternate revenue source.
Well,
but in Ohio, they're going to force their hands. They're going to say, "We're going to take it away." And they'll have to restructure revenue, and people will have to be part of the process. That's what government's all about. I think
it's a good idea to force a restructuring of the revenue of the county.
Yes.
To me, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're examining in more detail. Now, what are they doing this for? I mean, in theory, that's what you have the county commissioners for, right?
And that's what
in
government
theory,
does at all levels, federal, state, and local. It tends to kind of freeze institutions in place at one time. And we don't get to re-examine how it's working and where the revenue's coming from and where it's going. This is a golden opportunity for people to reassess how much money they want to give to local government.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we're in control of government. We don't need to have government controlling us and us thinking, oh, we're subject to the Lord of the Manor. No, we're not subject to the Lord of the Manor. The Lord of the Manor is no more. This is a government of sovereign citizens.
And on that note, when we come back, Ben, news potpourri.
All right.
Back after this.
This is Tom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea, a supplement to help you have a healthier heart and stronger cardiovascular system. At Soul Tea, we regularly get emails from our customers telling us how Soul Tea has helped them. Like this one from Kelly. Hello, I'm 58 years old and have had high cholesterol for years. I wanted to stay away from prescription drugs. My husband and I have been using Soul Tea for about 13 months. My results have been amazing. My cholesterol levels went from 291 to 129. I am so impressed with Soul Tea and want to thank you. Now, in my own case, my bad cholesterol dropped from 130 to 89, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 75 years old and I take 0 prescription drugs. To get a great deal on Soul Tea, please go to GodzillaHeart.com, and when you check out, use the code Godzilla to get our best deal, which is 50% off your first shipment and then 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. You don't have to live with a broken heart.
Do you suffer from
Try
declining
Soul Tea
bone and
today.
joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Ben Cunningham, a good friend for many years, founder of the National Tea Party. Ben, it's that time of day again. It's time for News Potpourri.
Ooh.
Yes, Ben, this is the portion program we talk about the stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, and may have a touch of irony. Well, here's one for you. Thank God I live in Tennessee and not Michigan.
Yes.
And case in point, the superintendent of all schools in Michigan was asked a very basic question. Here was the non-answer. Let's play this clip.
How many genders are there? How many genders are there?
Deer in the headlights, look.
Different people have different beliefs on that.
Well, you can believe all you want, but science says there's 2.
I mean, she's the superintendent of schools in Michigan.
I know.
She's in charge of the public school curriculum in Michigan.
It's unbelievable. At least she could have given some kind of answer. I mean, she was frozen, just fearful about what would happen if she actually answered the question. It's just unbelievable.
She had a Ketanji Brown Jackson moment. You know, like when Senator Marsha Blackburn asked her that question in her confirmation hearings. I'm not a biologist. I can't tell. Look down. What do you see? That's it. 1 or 2. All right. Thank God, Ben, I live in Tennessee and not in San Diego. Would you like to know why? Here's what they're doing in San Diego, California. They're going into people's trash cans and lifting the lids to see if they're recycling. Here, we'll play this clip right now.
Big Brother hit the curbside in San Diego.
We've never been this detailed and thorough with it.
The Democrat-run city hired lid lifters to snoop through your garbage at 6 a.m., checking for proper recycling under new state mandates.
I'm weird. I'm excited. I think it's cool to dig through trash. But I get it. I'm not the normal person.
Non-compliant bins get slapped with oops tags, forcing resorts, while managers gush over digging in trash.
We're not going to be enforcing or doing any kind of citations for minor or major contaminations.
Privacy invasion or eco-necessity.
Well, there you go. I got a real fun one for you, Ben. Listen to this headline. This is actually from the Daily Beast. Democrat congressman, age 71, blames Elon Musk for his looking at dirty pictures on an airplane. Do you see that one?
No.
Representative Brad Sherman, D. California, blamed Elon Musk's X algorithm for serving him saucy pictures amid a potential scandal involving him scrolling through softcore pornography in public. The 71-year-old California Democrat was photographed looking at pictures of lingerie-clad girls on his tablet while on a flight. The pictures of Sherman were posted to X by the Dear White House Staffers account, an account made of a group of Capitol Hill staffers working to expose poor working conditions. The images were later reposted by Donald Trump Jr.
Hey, at least he knows the difference between a man and a woman, okay? At least we've gotten that far with him.
I mean, I'm telling you, it is.
Oh, that's
isn't that
funny.
crazy? It's
That's
kind of funny,
funny.
and true as it turns out.
It is the Democratic Party is so full of ironies these days. I mean, I don't see it's like a minefield for anybody who's in the Democratic Party who has a modicum of rational and the ability for critical thought. You have to continually justify all the craziness that's happening over there, and you have to look the other way when Antifa, goes in and commits violence. These people have to have cognitive dissonance to the nth degree. I mean, it's weird.
I've got one for you. A staffer for a defund the police Illinois state senator was robbed at knife point. How about that? Kind of crazy. We've also got all this state-based redistricting going on. And, California and Texas are all... Indiana apparently is kind of not doing so well.
And one common denominator we see for all Democrats is raising taxes.
Yeah.
Mondami is going to do it. Johnson in Chicago is going to do it. I'm sure the new lady out in Seattle, they're talking about a wealth tax. If you live in a Democratic city or a Democratic state, the one certainty you can face is your taxes are going up. We've seen this exodus over the last 10, 15, 20 years from blue to red states. It's going to continue. And when I don't know whether we'll be able to hold on that long, but certainly in the next census, it's going to be a boon to Republicans.
Absolutely. Do you follow prediction markets at all?
A little, not.
I think they're
much.
kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a CBS Morning News, the Sunday liberal thing that I hate watch on Sunday just to make notes. They had a story on the guys at Kalshi, right, which is a prediction market.
Yes.
And they said, well, it's bad because most of it's on sports betting. I think a prediction market is fine. I think the problem is sports betting is out of control because there's a lack of guidelines from Major League Baseball, NBA. And that's the problem.
The possibilities for corruption are just
they're just
crazy,
out of control. This is sad news. Michelle Obama is at it again.
Oh, she's so
insufferable. Is that the right word?
Well, I was going to use another one, but she's that.
You can't use that on.
Yeah. Oh man,
America is not ready for a female president, so don't waste my time. I'm not going to even think about it.
Oh, me. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Goodness gracious. We dodged that bullet. Oh, man.
I'm telling you, yeah.
They're just, I don't know. I mean, how do you describe the mental state of somebody like that who's worth $1 gazillion and thinks of themselves as a perpetual victim?
I feel sorry.
I don't know.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel sorry for Barack Obama. Because he's henpecked.
Yeah.
She's like happy with nothing.
Well, you wonder how much time they spend together. I don't know.
Things I'm not going to really pursue.
Yes.
Ben Cunningham, it's always so much fun to have you here.
Yeah, great fun to be here. Thanks
so much
for
for joining us. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, great.
All right, Rob Carson is next. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I hope you have a great day. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. The website, TennesseeStar.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com. Listen to Michael Patrick Leahy and make America great again.
FlatFeeNashville.com is a full-service real estate brokerage that charges homeowners a upfront flat fee of $999 to completely list, market, and sell your home. We are all about saving consumers money, saving that equity. Nobody should hire an agent and feel like when that agent walks in the door, that agent is more concerned about the down payment on their next Mercedes purchase versus saving the equity that those homeowners have worked hard for. I've spent my entire career in ensuring that the equity that people save and they put into their monthly mortgage every single month, as much of that as we possibly can goes back to them when they go to list and sell that home. The idea is to give homeowners the ability to really create generational wealth.
FlatFeeNashville.com, FlatFeeNashville.com.